and welcome back to Beauty Bee. So today's video, we're going to do a look that's inspired by the new Colourpop Garden Variety collection. I think that name is really cute, and I think the collection is too. I admit that at first I kind of thought that the palette in particular was just a copy of the Wild Nothing palette that they put out like a couple weeks ago, but with a column of purples in it. But on closer inspection, I do think they're different enough. Certainly I wouldn't want both, but one goes in a sort of true neutral direction. It's very brown and sand in keeping with the desert inspiration, while Garden Variety, while I thought it was pretty neutral at first, it's actually much more of a peach into red violet palette. Neither of them is groundbreaking. I think they're both cute. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do a look inspired by that. I do not own this palette, so if that is what you came here for, I'm sorry. I hope you'll come back another day. See ya. I wanted to pull some things in my collection that could give me a very similar vibe. And I mean, I am looking at this palette on my computer as I set this look up, so I will input a picture probably right around here that shows the shades in the palette that you could use if you wanted to recreate this look. So right now I'm just taking home some eyeshadow primer. I used the Wet n Wild one. Obviously, in the spirit of this video, use what you have. So I am going to be using mostly this NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. Let's see if I can't open this. It's a pain to open. Oh my goodness. Need to do my arm workouts. So I think that what I'm going to do is start out building up my crease, and I'm going to use this shade to start. I'm just going to take a fluffy crease brush, just tap into that. I know from experience that that can give me a lot more color than I usually want. Let's go in. Tap again. Right, so we've got some color set up in my crease. Now I'm going to go in with this sort of midpoint between peach and rose gold, I think. And I will build that up over sort of the outer half to 2/3 of my lid. And we'll use a lighter peach on the inner half. I don't think it's built up quite as well on this side, so I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay, now we're good, and I'm going to go in with this lighter peach shade. Let me give you a swatch so you can see the difference between those. I don't know how well that really comes off on camera. They are not incredibly different, but here is the darker shade that I'm currently wearing, and here's the lighter shade that I'm going to put on the inner third to half of my eye. I'm going to take that just on a clean finger and build it up in much the same way. I really like using my fingers just in general, mostly because I hate cleaning my brushes, but I can always wash my hands before I put on makeup. Obviously, you could use brushes and it would be the same. Okay, I think that that's a pretty peachy look. I like it as is. However, in the spirit of the Garden Variety palette, I also want to add a little bit of Red Violet. So I'm going to take a shade from a different palette. Let me open this. Oh my goodness. NYX, what you doing? I'm going to go into this Red Violet shade on a, what would you call this? Like a pencil brush, but a pretty big one. And I'm just going to put that and really define that outer V, and I'll probably smudge a little bit under my eye as well. I know that's not looking very neat right now, but we'll blend things. Okay, so actually my left, I don't remember how the camera turns things around. This eye actually looks pretty close to how I want it to, though it does need a little bit more blending. This one, it needs a lot more blending. So I think I'm gonna use this really fluffy brush to blend out. I'm just gonna make sure all the edges on my lid are buffed out. And I did take the purple much further on this side than on this one, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more. What can I say? Doing your makeup is an iterative process. Repeat until it looks right. Okay. Now I think I've got those much closer to matching. I think it's important to keep in mind too that though you are looking at yourself in a mirror that's, 5 inches away from your face, no one else is. So if it's not exactly even, or it's not exactly perfect, or there's a little dot of something somewhere, you're the only one who notices. Okay. So I think that's looking good, and I really like that. I think that's a pretty combination. Okay, so right now I'm going to do my brows, then I'm going to decide if I want to add a little bit of brow bone highlight. Usually I do. I don't necessarily know if I want to today though. And let's reevaluate once we finish the brows, eh? Okay. Yeah, I could see myself using a little bit of brow bone highlight. So let's find a shader brush, like this one from e.l.f. And I'm going to go in with this. Actually, I'm going to go in with this shade because I think it's a little closer to what they have in the Colourpop palette. This is a very, very light, slightly shimmery peach. I'm just gonna go under my brow bone with that. All right, looking good. Now, I think I'm just gonna do top lashes today. Okay, so that's the eyes done. Now I'm going to go in with this quite peachy glowy blush from Wet n Wild. I'm just going to take this on this really big fluffy blush brush. And I don't want to use any highlighter with this because it's so glowy. So I'm going to get quite a bit and just get my entire cheeks and my nose. I know not everyone likes to put blush on their nose, but I feel like it really makes it look a little bit more natural. If I have color in my cheeks, I usually have it across the bridge of my nose too, so that seems natural to me. Of course, do what you want. There's no rules here. I'm gonna take this, wow, this is a lot of NYX. I'm gonna take this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu. For me, it is a slightly pinky nude, and I'm gonna put that on really pretty lightly. Okay, so that is the face done. However, I want to hit my shoulders because I'm awfully pasty this year. I just am, sorry. So I'm going to go in with this Essence Pure Nude highlighter and a pretty big, I think this isn't technically meant for powder, but yeah, who needs self-control when it comes to highlight? I'm just gonna put that all over my shoulders. You see how that just makes it look, for lack of a better word, healthier than skin on this side? I love that look that you're sort of glowing from within. Being a contortionist on YouTube, not really. I'm actually incredibly inflexible. I need to work on that, but okay, I'm liking that. And let's see, is there anything else I want to add? Nope, I think this looks good. So thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts on this Colourpop Garden Variety collection? I think it's really cute. I like the packaging. I mean, obviously the little floral, I guess in that case it's succulent design, really appeals to me. And I also think that the sort of minty blue and white plastic packaging, though not ideal because I would prefer that Colourpop move away from that plastic packaging, I do think it's really cute. It sort of gives me nostalgic vibes to Coffee Break with Danny's old setup. And though I don't see myself purchasing this palette from Colourpop, I think it's a cute collection. I think they are really on a good track with these fairly neutral but somewhat more interesting than just a brown palette little collection they've been putting out recently. I am interested to see what else they put out because they've got a desert scape and a gardenscape. So what's up now? Forestscape and seascape maybe? I don't know. I'm intrigued. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you did. I look forward to seeing you next time, but until then, have a great day. See ya!